While using the bathroom, something strange is going to happen to your spine. A sudden shiver, a full-body shudder that lasts about 2 seconds. It happens to roughly 2 out of every 3 men on Earth, and almost nobody can explain it. The answer isn't about temperature. It isn't about embarrassment. It's about a war happening inside your body, one you've never noticed you're fighting. Doctors call it post-micturition convulsion syndrome. That's a long way of saying the pea shiver. The name sounds serious. It isn't. But the mystery underneath it is more interesting than the name suggests. For decades, the leading theory was simple. You expose skin to cooler air. Warm liquid leaves your body, your temperature drops for a moment, and you shiver, the same way you would stepping out of a hot shower. It's tidy, it's intuitive, and it's almost certainly wrong. Here's why. If it were just about cold exposure, you'd shiver just as often when you vomit or when you have a bowel movement. Both involve exposed skin. Both involve fluid leaving the body. Neither one reliably triggers the shiver. So why does urination single-handedly cause it again and again in the same predictable way? The real answer lives in a part of your nervous system you never consciously control. It's called the autonomic nervous system, and it runs 2 competing programs at once. One is called the sympathetic branch. Think of it as your body's alarm system, the one that raises your heart rate and tightens your blood vessels when something changes fast. The other is the parasympathetic branch, your body's rest and digest system, the one that relaxes muscles and slows things down. Under ordinary conditions, these 2 systems take turns, but urination puts them in direct conflict. Dr. Matt Barton, a research fellow at Griffith University, has described what happens next. As urine leaves your bladder, your blood pressure actually drops. Your body detects that drop immediately, so the sympathetic system fires to correct it, tightening blood vessels and raising your heart rate. Right in the middle of a process, the parasympathetic system was supposed to be quietly running. 2 systems, pulling in opposite directions at the exact same moment. That collision, most researchers now believe, is the shiver. It's not cold, it's crossed wires. And here's the part almost nobody knows. This phenomenon has been publicly puzzled over for longer than you'd think. Back in 1994, a reader wrote into a long-running newspaper advice column called The Straight Dope, asking what on earth was happening to their body. Nobody had a solid answer then. Almost 30 years later, in 2012, NBC News ran an entire investigation into the same question, interviewing doctors who were still circling the same theory. To this day, there has never been a dedicated clinical study built specifically to test it. Think about that. A reaction most men have felt hundreds, maybe thousands of times in their life, and modern medicine still hasn't run a single controlled experiment to confirm exactly why it happens. Why does something this common stay this unexplained? Partly because it's harmless, partly because it's awkward to study, but mostly because your body is full of these tiny automatic negotiations, and you only ever notice the ones that produce a visible glitch. Your pupils widen and narrow constantly without your permission. Your gut and your brain are in near constant chemical conversation. Your heart rate shifts by the second, responding to thoughts you're not even aware you're having. Almost none of it reaches your conscious mind. The pea shiver is one of the rare moments where an invisible internal argument actually breaks the surface, where you get to feel for 2 seconds the machinery underneath your own skin doing its job in real time. It also explains something else. Researchers have noted the shiver appears to affect men more often than women, and one likely reason is simple biomechanics. Standing to urinate changes how quickly the bladder empties and how suddenly the pressure shifts, which may make that sympathetic correction fire harder and faster. It isn't about strength or toughness, it's plumbing and physics dressed up as a mystery. So the next time it happens, you'll know what you're actually feeling, not cold air, not nerves. two ancient systems inside your own nervous system briefly disagreeing about what your body should be doing, resolving their argument in under 3 seconds and leaving you standing there a little startled by your own biology. Tonight, you're going to use the bathroom and something strange is going to happen to your spine. Only this time you won't wonder what it is. You'll know it's the sound of your own nervous system arguing with itself and quietly winning.